Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Relocation Rundown. I'm Aaron,
I'm Jeff.
and we're the Aaron and Geoff team at Compass, your Bronx residential real estate experts.
I love when we have guests who talk to us about places I've never been. And Arizona is one of those places that I've spent almost no time in. If there's more of the state beyond the Grand Canyon, I've not seen it. And we're really excited to have Cameron here with us to talk about Arizona. Hey, Cameron, thanks for joining.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. We're excited to be here.
So to start, why don't you give a little bit of an intro of who you are, where you live in Arizona, and what you kind of practice in the Arizona market?
Yeah, so I am originally born and raised in Scottsdale, Arizona. And it was kind of a weird way of me getting into the industry. After college, I moved to San Francisco, was there for about 2 years doing interior design, and the company that I had worked with asked me to move to LA. So I was in LA with the company for 4 years. And about a year before I left that company, a old boss of mine came up to me or had left about a year before me and called me one day and said, "Hey, I want you to be my global director of training and development for my furniture manufacturing company, but I need you to move to Hong Kong." 2 week, yeah. So a bit of a jump. 2 weeks later, I moved to Hong Kong, was there for 2 years and moved back to Scottsdale in 2017, got my license right away. And now I kind of kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah. What was it like leaving Scottsdale and coming back after 2 years? Like, was there a big change for you? Like, what was it like to relocate back home, I guess?
Yeah. So frankly, it was amazing. Arizona growing up here was really kind of in my opinion, it was kind of boring, to be honest. We had all of the traditional, how do you say excuse my French. We're going to have to redo that part.
Okay.
I'll redo it. We had all the traditional like Applebee's and Chili's and those kind of places, but we didn't have any great restaurants, no great bars, shops, things like that. We didn't have any freeways at the time really either. And so when I left for 8 years and came back, everything had blown up. It was great restaurants, great bars, great shops. And it really made me appreciate Arizona so much more than I did as a kid. And I absolutely love it here now. It's my place that I call home. Even as much as I, love traveling the world, I love coming back here.
Is there something that you can pinpoint that led to that shift in Arizona as you see it, right? From that very expansive chain restaurant sort of feel, that very corporate feel, to a more bespoke town? What made that shift?
I think initially it probably was COVID, to be honest. We had such an influx of people moving here from California and the Pacific Northwest that, it really brought a big flavor of the food industry. We've really become a massive foodie city. And it was a massive influx of people. And we are about 5.5 million people in Phoenix metro area. So which makes us the fifth largest city in the country.
That's
We've
great.
kind of, yeah. It's a massive, massive city. I mean, you would think something like Los Angeles, which is so expansive, but I think they are number 2 or number 3. But we flip flop between 4 and 5, and the Phoenix metro area consists of, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, Glendale, Chandler, Gilbert, Goodyear, all these different cities, but they all kind of fall under one umbrella of the Phoenix metro area.
So why do you think people have been moving to Phoenix or the Phoenix metro area?
Yeah.
In the past 5-10 years? Like, what's really driving
I think the main thing is taxes. Our property taxes are extremely low. They're anywhere from 0.5 to 0.75% of the purchase price of the property. Our income tax rate is 2.5%. So it's really, really low as well. And I think our property values or purchase price is still relatively low compared to other states like California. I mean, California, we're only a 45-minute flight from LA or San Diego and maybe an hour flight from San Francisco. So it really makes it a really great, affordable state to live in, but yet you don't have to pay the taxes of California. And that's where I spend most of my summers in California too anyways. So
Let's talk about what you get for that money, right? Because in so many different places for what you get in New York City for a few $100,000 is nothing. Whereas in places like Arizona, you might be getting beautiful large home with yards. So
Yeah.
with yard,
Yeah. Yard.
imagine outdoor space. What are we buying in Phoenix? Are we dealing with apartment buildings? Are we dealing with single families? Are we dealing with ranches? Like what do you deal with mostly?
We have a various range of all of those. I would say the majority of the properties that we have are single family homes. We're becoming a little bit more of an urban city. Our downtown Phoenix has grown exponentially. Tons of high-rise properties that have turned into apartments and for sale properties. Lots of townhome communities have been popping up. I think that millennials, the next gen people, are looking for less of the single family home lifestyle, less maintenance, and more into the townhome type stuff where, they can travel, they can, live more of a laissez-faire, what's that phrase? Laissez-faire lifestyle where, leave and, lock it and leave it up and all that kind of stuff. I live in a townhouse and, in fact, my mother, I wanted to buy a single family home because I was living in a very small apartment. My place in Hong Kong was 150 square feet.
Oh my
When I
God.
moved back to Arizona, and you figure 150 square feet is roughly a little bit larger than an average parking spot in America. So when I moved back to Arizona, my apartment here was about 800 feet. So I thought that was like a palace. And so it was amazing. And so when I bought my house, I was like, I need a lot of space. I need a yard, all that kind of stuff. And then my mom convinced me that since I'm in real estate, I should buy a townhouse and really get to know my neighbors so that I have the opportunity to sell, potentially in my neighborhood.
Smart mom. Yeah, smart mom.
She's in marketing. So she's amazing. She actually was part of the reason why I got in the industry too, because she had a large marketing PR firm for about 35 years, which primarily focused on real estate developers. And I kind of knew I was going to get into the industry in general. I just wasn't sure what capacity I would get into. But anyway, when I moved into my townhouse, I met my neighbor. They were moving in at the same time that I was. And they're like, hey, we got into the topic of real estate and they said they had a house to sell. I interviewed, got the job, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, if I didn't get the job, I'd make your life as a neighbor terrible. But anyway, but we're actually really great friends. They're amazing people. And
Don't send them this podcast.
right, exactly. Sylvia, they'll be calling me and yeah, oops, said the name. But,
We'll make that.
from that, it's funny, from that deal, I've gotten a few other deals in the same community that they used to live in. So it was awesome.
Let's talk about price points. What are we thinking about if we were calling and saying, we're tired of New York, we want to live in Arizona, and we want to be in an average single family home? Where would you tell us to look, and what would our price points be?
It's interesting because there's just so many people that actually have moved to Arizona from New York City that are used to a, $4 or $5 million property in, New York City that would translate to Arizona being maybe 1.5, 2 million. And at that price point, you're going to probably get around 4,000, 3,500 square feet property, huge yard, things like that. But it also depends on the area of the Phoenix area you want to be in. So, for instance, the Beverly Hills of Arizona is called Paradise Valley. Average price point in that community, or that city rather, is about 4.5 million. At one point, it was 7.5 million during COVID, but it slightly decreased. That area, though, has
That's a big slight.
yeah, but there's still an average of, I'd say right now, I think I saw properties that are over $10 million in that city. It's a fairly small city, has its own, municipality, police force, mayor, who's a volunteer position, but it's the Beverly Hills of Arizona. And a lot of people from New York City move there. Now, if they're looking for something that is a little less pricey, Then you can go to the surrounding areas of Scottsdale, Central Phoenix. I live in an area called Biltmore Corridor, which is right close next to the Biltmore Hotel, which is famously built by or designed by architect Frank Lloyd Wright, who's my favorite architect in
Mine
the,
too.
the world. Oh my God, I'm upset. Wrote too many book reports about him growing up as a kid. In fact, he has one of his original architectural schools out here called Taliesin West. So many different property styles out here and price points that, really could make anyone moving from any part of the country feel comfortable with what they're spending.
So for more of a starter home, right? What would you say somebody moving to the Phoenix metro area would be looking at for the price point compared to the luxury style 5,000
Sure.
square foot homes? What's like the 2,500 square foot, 3 bed, 2 bath sort of thing,
Yeah, what are you trying?
So in the Gilbert Chandler area, you could probably find something between 3 to 500,000 for that price point. The further north you get in the Phoenix metro area, the more expensive it gets. The more broad west, east sides of the city, the less expensive it gets, just because it's not close to, all of the high-end restaurants and the high-end shops and things like that. But those type of shops are moving outwards slowly, but they are getting there. But it's really become very big of a tourist area too. So, the Old Town Scottsdale area where people are excited to see the Western towns, our shops are, where cowboys used to go and tie up their horses and go down to the, the bars and restaurants out there. So we are still the Wild West, but we are becoming more fancy.
I mean, I've heard wonderful things about Sedona as well, as far as like
Love.
beauty and nature and like a fun town. Scottsdale, I know people keep going to for like bachelor parties and stuff. And these are places I've never visited. Really, like I said, all I've seen is the Grand Canyon.
Yeah,
So
we
Sure.
we went to Arizona.
we did go to Bears.
Ooh. I wonder why.
It was fun.
I wish.
Wrong Bears. Had a good time though. And then what else would you say are like the big tourist draws other than like the Grand Canyon and these couple
Yeah.
of towns?
So, like you said, Sedona is absolutely beautiful. I was actually up there last weekend showing property to clients, and we're hopefully going under contract soon on something. But Sedona is one of my favorite places to go to. It's between an hour and a half and 2 hours north of the Phoenix metro area, so it's really close to get to. Flagstaff is incredible. Flagstaff is a big college town. Northern Arizona University is up there, along with Emory-Riddle, which is the big aeronautical college. Flagstaff is one of the snowiest cities in the country, which not a lot of people would know about. The base of Flagstaff City is about a mile high, so it's similar to that of Denver. And then at the top of the bowl where you can go skiing, you're at just under 12,000 feet. So you have a really vast diversity of elevations, flora and fauna in the Phoenix area, Arizona in general. And while a lot of people think Arizona in general is very hot, this summer has been very mild, thankfully. But if you want to escape the heat, you really can go 2 hours north and where it's about 30 to 40 degrees cooler in the summertime, which is pretty fantastic.
Wow, that sounds great. It's really freaking hot here right now.
Yeah.
Been in the
Like,
90s all week.
yeah, it's like almost
It's
hot.
been a rough summer.
But you guys have humidity, so
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
My Jufro won't handle the humidity, which is
What
why I
you-
stay in the dry.
when we went to Palm Springs, California, and visited my brother, and it was 110 degrees, it was still more bearable than 95 degrees here because of the
Yeah.
lack of humidity. I'm glad you brought up the heat because I've seen videos, and who in this day and age it could be AI, who knows? But I've seen videos of like people's tires melting in Phoenix off their cars because the pavement is so hot. How do you handle the heat when it does get to the 110, 115?
You stay inside. No, honestly, I'm so you don't really ever get used to the heat, to be honest. But everywhere that you go, the state is incredibly good at maintaining air conditioning everywhere. We have a bunch of outdoor shopping malls that you don't feel hot when you're walking around there because there is a massive misting systems that are just coming down on you. So even if you go outside for a second, you're really cool. They have plenty of shaded areas, and in the shaded areas, it's typically about 10 degrees cooler. And in the summertime, most people are not here. It's a big transition city in the summertime for about 6 months. Then everyone kind of floods the city in the wintertime, starting. Most people leave about the first or second week of May, and then they're back first week of November.
So is this like how like in New York, a lot of people go to Florida for the winter time? Is that
Hmm.
like what Phoenix kind of is?
Yes.
You get a lot of snowbirds. Where do they come from?
Initially, it used to be in the Midwest. So it's Midwesterners are out here, East Coasters. A lot of Canadians actually move out here too, because we have Arizona in general has 360 days of sun. We maybe have 5 days of rain a year, but when we do get rain, it's the most incredible, gorgeous rainstorms you'll ever see. But you also will have the rain doesn't know where to go, so it just kind of
Yeah, why?
goes down the street because
Yeah,
we have hard water here.
Right.
yeah.
Or hard ground rather. But yeah, a lot of people moving here from in the wintertime all over the country, just because, you can still wear shorts. You can play golf, every single day of the year. We have incredible spas. Our resorts are incredible. It's just, it's a great place to live. I love it.
What do you wish more people knew about Arizona in general, or about moving to Arizona?
I think a lot of people need to look into our tax rates. I'm not a tax guy, but I think a lot of people don't know that our tax rates are really low. I think that a lot of people think Arizona is just brown and boring and desert and dead, but it's actually a really beautiful city and state. We have tons of different flora and fauna. We have all the different seasons that you can imagine in different parts of the Arizona. When you look into Phoenix, Scottsdale area in general, every time I drive on the roads or the freeways, I am surrounded by mountains. And so we call it the Valley of the Sun because we are really built into a valley. And everywhere you look, you will see gorgeous mountains. And the sun, while it is hot, you can definitely get away from it if you need to. And the people here are extremely friendly. In my experience growing up here, I had a lot of friends, moved away. And then when I came back, I kind of changed groups of friends and met a whole new group of people. And I find it a lot easier to, meet people when you leave and come back and all that kind of stuff. Just get involved with as many things as possible.
You know, uh, it's funny. Often we talk to different agents in different markets about where their vacation market is, right? For us, we go to, a lot of people go to Fire Island, they'll go to the Hamptons, they'll go to the Catskills, the Poconos. It sounds like you guys are the vacation market in some ways. Is there somewhere that people will go and buy their second home to vacation away from Phoenix, or is Phoenix metro areas Arizona the vacation from their other home?
It's interesting. A lot of people, it's kind of a two-part answer. A lot of people move here for their vacation home in the wintertime, but a lot of us have second homes in northern Arizona or central eastern Arizona. Flagstaff, Sedona area being one of them, Pine Top, Show Low area being another. But at the same point too, a lot of people move out of here in the summertime and go to their homes in California. Because it's only about a 5-6 hour drive to LA, San Diego, or a 45-minute flight. But at the same time, too, a lot of people have second homes in Rocky Point, which is, about 4 hours south of Arizona in Mexico. So a lot of people move around, but I think if you stay in Arizona and you want a vacation home, you're going to be up in northern or central, northern, eastern Arizona as well.
If money was no option for you, where would you live in Phoenix area, and then where would your vacation home be?
Okay, so my favorite area of town, eventually I would love to be in Paradise Valley. That is the Beverly Hills of Arizona. I just got to find some help I need to find a man. Or not, and I will make it on my own. I'll be fine. So I would love to be in Paradise Valley. I do love an area called Arcadia, but I'm not a fan of it. You can have gorgeous homes. One thing I'm not a fan of the area is the power lines. You can have a $4 or $5 million house and you'll have power lines behind you, but that's just kind of what everyone's used to over there. But Paradise Valley for sure. If I was to have a house somewhere else, my area is Portugal.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I love that golden visa opportunity. I got to get that second passport or third passport or whatever, however many I can get.
Our client sold their house or their apartment here in the Bronx and just retired in Portugal.
It's absolutely, I was there for Christmas in 2023 and it's an incredible place to visit. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to any other area of Portugal because I had another destination I was going to, but it's very affordable and easy to get around if you don't mind hiking. It's a sister city of San Francisco where you think it's like a half mile away and you're like, oh yeah, it's going to be easy. You're going a half mile up. So bring your walking shoes, but it's very affordable. The city our airport was about 30 minutes away from the Airbnb we were staying at. We took Uber Black and it was, 16 euros, which is, $20 compared to the States where probably even in New York City, it'd be 3 or 4 times that price for a 30-minute drive.
Yeah, we don't take Uber. It's
Yeah. Do you guys have Waymo out there yet or no?
no. I think they're like testing them somewhere.
I don't like the idea of Waymo in New York City.
We have too many pedestrians on the street.
Yeah.
It's people doing ridiculously unexpected things, myself included.
So I don't know how that would be, but you have Waymo there.
We do. It's not allowed on the freeways yet, but I believe they're in process of testing it. I do take it. I think I've taken it 3 or 4 times because initially I was afraid to start that process, but it's, from what I've noticed, is it's a little bit less expensive than Uber.
Yeah.
And
well, you're not paying for someone to drive you. So
right, exactly that. But I still have the urge to like yell at the car to be like, you're going the wrong way. For instance, coming home from the airport, if I take the freeway, it's about 10-15 minutes, but in Waymo, it's about 25 because they have to take the back roads. But I'm like, you're supposed to turn there and there's no one listening to you. And so, it's a toss up. You can sing at the top of your lungs when you're in the car, nobody listens to you, but you may be going the wrong way sometimes, but it gets you to your destination eventually. Yeah. But I'm also afraid sometimes if I have like suitcases in the trunk,
it'll just drive away.
It will take away. It'll go away without me. So I leave the passenger door open and then get on stuff. Yeah.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've seen it happen from other people. But they also have they've gone wrong directions in construction zones and
yeah. I mean,
creepy.
It would not be good here in New York. Things are closed so often, things move. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Where can people find you if they want to ask you more questions or follow you?
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram, Cameron Martz _real estate. And that's MARTZ. And you can find me on my website at www.martzrealtygroup.com.
Awesome. This has been so great, Cameron. I always love talking to you. And this has been the Relocation Rundown. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys.